And today I want to do an update in reference to the homicide investigation that we are working. And what I'm asking is more public help, more public assistance. We've narrowed down some information and I can't go into too much detail. However, anybody on the evening of the 16th between the 7:15 and 8 o'clock, I am asking if you were along this roadway of South Beach Parkway that leads to the on-ramp up to JTB, or from Jacksonville Drive coming down Sanctuary Boulevard, turning on to JTB, to please give us a call. It does not matter if you saw something or you didn't see anything. We're asking if you were in the area to call us, because we're starting to put pieces together now. And even though you may think it's nothing, you didn't see anything, that helps us with our timeline of what occurred that evening. If you saw a car that was stranded, hazard lights on, fixing a tire, the hood up, if you would please call and let us know that. We're looking for anything that was out of the ordinary on either one of these roadways during that time frame. We are also looking for anybody that was walking, running, that looked out of place during that time frame on this particular area or these roadways. And again, the vehicles, if there was a vehicle that looked like it was in distress because of a flat tire, a hood up, something going on with people, occupants in the car, that's the type of information we're looking for. If you came down either one of these roadways during that time frame and you saw nothing of the sort, nothing in the roadway, no people, that is important information for us as well. That's why we've narrowed down that timeline, so that we know who was where and at what time, so we can start putting these pieces a little closer together. Again, this is in reference to a father of 4 that was gunned down in front of his 2-year-old. So we have been on this case from the start. We're not going to stop until it's done, but we do need help from everybody to help us put these pieces together and find out who did this. Okay?
Can you just say the route one more time?
Sure. Jacksonville Drive, down Sanctuary Boulevard to the on-ramp to JTB, and South Beach Parkway, turning left or going westbound onto the on-ramp to JTB.
We're seeing U.S. Customs and Border Protection out here. What's their presence mean?
They are doing an article search for us to make sure that we didn't miss anything. The officers did an article search, but dogs obviously are much more homed in and keen on that. So we're just covering all of our bases and going over second and third time.
What's an article search?
Article search is for any piece of property that may be left behind. It could be a piece of trash, it could be clothing, it could be a bottle, you name it, it could be that. They are, those dogs are actually trained in reference to doing article searches, and that's what they were out here for.
So not necessarily anything having to do with Customs or Border Protection. You're just utilizing the canine.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. They were kind enough to come out and help us with this. They've got the dogs that are trained up for it, so we're utilizing their dogs and their handlers to help us with this case.
And I noticed that they're going down that pathway over here as well. Is that where you believe the victim was driving on that night?
This area, these roadways, are the areas we're focusing on right now. So we are making sure we cover every basis along this roadway to make sure we didn't miss anything, and to make sure that we are, excuse me, it's a little windy. Make sure that we pick up on everything that we need to, as far as, nighttime, daytime. You may see something different, so that's why we're focusing on this area.
You mentioned the department's really soliciting tips, any information, even if you don't think it's anything. Have you already gotten some? Are you working off tips already that you've gotten?
Yes, we are. So, and we do appreciate that. Again, we're focusing on that time frame in this particular area. And even if you don't live here, if you were driving through this area, that's important to give us a call. And I can't emphasize it enough. Even if you didn't see anything, that still help us if you were here between those time frames, so that we know if there was any activity or no activity.
And I know that this is an active investigation and you can't really release too much about it because you don't want to compromise the investigation, but do you have any idea what led up to this? I mean, it's such a tragic, senseless thing. A father was gunned down in front of his 2-year-old. Do we have any idea of what led up to this? Was this domestic?
We are still trying to put those pieces together. So the more people that come forward, the more that helps us put the pieces together.
Do you have any suspects identified right now?
Right now, we're not releasing any of that information. Again, it comes back to the more information we get, the more we'll narrow it down and figure this case out.
How long do you anticipate there being law enforcement presence out here on the scene today?
We're finishing it up today. As far as being out here, that doesn't mean we won't come back out to walk it, review it again. But right now we're focusing on interviewing people and tips that come in. So some people around here could expect us to go knocking on the door, asking if they've seen anything. And again, anybody that did see something, we just encourage them to call.
If someone hears this and thinks, "Oh, I was over there that night. I was there here during that time frame," what do they do? How do they reach out?
They need to call the police department 270-1661 and tell them that they have information in reference to the case that we are working, and they'll put them through to a detective to talk to.
And you released that picture of that tire yesterday, and you're talking now about, you mentioned, maybe a flat tire, things like that. Is there any indication of what that tire, how that plays a role in all this, if it does at all?
At this time it doesn't,
Okay.
but we're not ruling anything out. So that's why we're asking if anybody recognized a car that was off on the side that maybe was dealing with that issue to give us a call, because that helps us pinpoint maybe another witness. We're not sure, yet, but that's why we're asking for anybody with information to call us so that we can clarify.
Do you know if the victim, if he was shot in his car or outside of his car?
So the vehicle was stopped, and he was shot right there by his vehicle. I can't distinguish or tell you, I'm sorry, right now, inside or outside. We don't want to jeopardize anything. But I can tell you it's by the vehicle.
Is it 7:45 to 8:15 still, or has that expanded?
No. It's 7:45 to 8 o'clock.
And if he was shot next to his car, is that black SUV that you're looking for, is that his car?
We have narrowed down the black SUV is actually the victim's.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it? Do you have any idea what had happened leading up to the shooting? I know you mentioned there's aspects of this that you don't want to release, but was this a situation where maybe he had a flat tire and he got out to change it, and that's when, or is that just a narrative that you guys can't nail down yet?
I can tell you that there didn't seem to be anything wrong with his vehicle. And again, the tire we don't even know if that's related to this. It could just be something that, was on the roadway and was not cleared out. But that's what we're trying to determine.
Are you still looking for the black SUV?
No.
No longer looking for that?
We are not, because we've determined that's the victim's.
Okay.
Okay? So right now we're focusing on any other suspicious activity with vehicles, people, walking, running. Obviously this is the beach community, and people run and walk at different hours of the day. They may have seen or heard something. Even if they didn't, that's good to tell us, hey, I was running this area, at 7:45, 8 o'clock. I didn't see anything at all. That's good, because that tells us that there was nobody out here at that time.
And just once more, can you just emphasize how critical it is for public tips, public information in this sort of thing? How crucial is people submitting info that they have to these types of investigations?
These types of investigations, we depend upon tips, because we can't be everywhere all at once. So people seeing, hearing, or even not seeing or hearing things during a time frame helps us put it all together. You kind of look at it as a huge puzzle, and as we get those pieces together, we start putting it all together so we can actually work the case to its fullest. So, and again, I apologize, those time frames we're looking for, 7:15 to 8 o'clock.
7:15.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay?
All right. Anything else?
One last thing about
I'm sorry?
the black SUV. So you guys located it then?
The black SUV is actually the victim's SUV, so we are not looking for a black
Not
SUV.
looking for it, but did you locate it ever?
Yes, we have the victim's vehicle. Okay? Is that it? Okay. I really appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. I don't want it to blow over again.
All right, I'll grab the mic.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.